Right, so we're saying in criminal proceedings, defense attorneys occasionally attempt to establish that a suspect was not present at the commission of a crime by comparing the suspect's DNA to the DNA of blood or hair samples taken from the scene. Okay, so defense attorneys try to, prove that they were not there by comparing their suspect's DNA to the DNA that was found in the blood and hair samples. Although every person's DNA is unique, what part of the argument is this?
The consent.
DNA tests often fail to distinguish between DNA samples taken from distinct individuals. Okay, so even though we have unique DNA, the tests failed to distinguish among DNA samples taken from, okay, so we have distinct DNA, but the test can't actually determine it. Kind of what I'm getting here. Hence, it is a mistake to exonerate a suspect simply because the person's DNA did not match the DNA samples taken from the scene of the crime. So we're saying it is a mistake to exonerate a suspect simply because so that would mean like it's a mistake. We're trying to say it's a mistake to like let them go because the DNA did not match. And the reason we're saying it is because these tests can mess up sometimes.
Okay, so it's saying that sometimes it can't tell the difference between two different DNA samples, so we shouldn't exonerate people because of that.
Yeah, we shouldn't let them go because they can't do it. Is that good reasoning? What kind of flaw is here?
It's a mistake to exonerate because that couldn't there be another reason to get rid of them or to exonerate them?
Well, that doesn't matter. Our conclusion is it's a mistake to do it because of this reason. Do you agree with it, that it would be a mistake to let them go based on this reasoning, or do you think that they should have to stay?
So it's a mistake to let them go because DNA tests can't tell the difference between two different individuals.
Or two different DNA samples within distinct individuals. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that is good if it's wrong that they shouldn't have to stay?
If it's wrong and it comes out positive, but it's actually wrong?
I don't know. It doesn't say that. It doesn't clarify.
Well, that's how I would argue, but since we don't know, I guess.
So what I'm saying is, what if it can't what if in some situations it can distinguish DNA samples among distinct individuals, but in other cases, like just because it doesn't match doesn't mean it's not them, right?
It could still be them.
Right. So just because it's not a match, maybe we don't use that as evidence, but that's not proof that he didn't do it, right?
Yeah,
lack of evidence is not proof for the opposite.
Oh yeah, because what if like he did do it, but he just didn't leave evidence because he wore gloves?
Right. Or it's just a faulty, like it wasn't enough of a sample, it wasn't a good enough sample size or something. And they just like were like, well, we can't match it. We don't know who it was. We just can't confirm that it was him. But like lack of evidence is not proof that he didn't do it, right?
Right. There could still be evidence somewhere else.
Or it could still be his sample size. We just didn't get a good read on it.
Test it again. Okay. So is this a flawed question because of the error?
Yep. An error in the reasoning. And so our answer is going to be B, because it says it confuses a test that incorrectly identifies DNA samples as coming from the same person with a test that incorrectly shows as coming from different person samples that come from a single person.
So it's a test. Sorry, it's kind of wordy. The test confuses false positive. The test incorrectly.
It confuses a test that incorrectly identifies. So it confuses a test that identifies DNA samples as coming from the same person
when it comes from two.
With a test that incorrectly shows as coming from different persons' samples coming from a single person. So it's not like it like misidentifies people, right? It
Mhm.
just fails to say that they're the same person. It's not like it like proves that it's somebody else.
Oh, it just doesn't understand that it is the same.
Right. It's not like it's proof that it's not like incorrectly identifying a wrong person.
Okay, I see. That was hard. I think that answer choice was hard.
Yeah, it's like false negatives here.
Okay, fair enough.